The topic I wanted to speak with you about today is one of the most important things to understand when it comes to fast, easy, and joyful manifestation. Okay, hello and welcome to my little podcast, which doesn't have a name yet. And I just honestly wanted to start this because I have been feeling so called to sharing more with you over the last weeks and already years. The podcast has been on my mind almost since I started my business about 4.5 years ago. So I'm super excited to just get into this now because there has been a lot of topics that I just felt really cool to share with you more than just on Instagram, where there's just not so much time for this. So this is my second take because my first take, I filmed the whole thing and I didn't record it. So let's try this again. The topic I wanted to speak with you about today is probably one of the most important things to understand when it comes to fast, easy, and joyful manifestation. Um, it's around where your focus goes and what that creates. So, what happens a lot is, especially with high achievers, high performers, people who are very successful, we have learned that we have to solve problems in order to get further in life. It's almost like this radar that we have where we need to look out for everything that could be going wrong in order to make sure that nothing's going wrong. And that's kind of all good. But at the same time, what it does energetically is actually the opposite of what we want to create. Because the thing is that whatever we focus our attention on is what we're creating more of. So if you constantly focus on the next problem and the next thing to solve, then you're literally focusing and sending source energy in order to direct it to create more of that for you. So I know also in the whole like spirituality world, healing modalities, a lot of this is based around finding your fears, your limitations, all the things that are wrong right now in order to fix them. So it's this whole fixer culture where we need to fix things all the time. If you look at it from a universal law point of view, whatever you put your focus on, you create more of. Like attracts like. So if I'm constantly focusing my attention on, okay, there's this problem I need to fix. What other fear do I have that I want to overcome? What other limitation do I have that I want to overcome? What else is blocking me that I need to unblock in order to move forward? What I'm telling the universe is, hey, I want more things to fix, to unblock, to heal, right? So you're constantly focusing on the opposite of what you actually want, because what you want is things to be easy, things to be successful, things to be joyful, more fulfillment, more flow, right? But through your focus being on the problem and the limits and the fear, you're creating more of that. And this is something I see a lot in my clients and people in general, also even just listening to the conversations that they have. A lot of it is around problems, what's wrong in the world, what's wrong in their business, what's wrong in their life. So what I would like you to invite to do from now on is the complete opposite of that. Instead of looking at, okay, what's still wrong with me, what's still not the way I want it to be yet, what's still a problem, what's still a limitation, I want you to focus on, what do I want, and what am I already amazing at? Where's my business already thriving? How am I already such a great leader? How is my life already so phenomenal? So you really want to shift your focus away from lack and towards abundance. And through that is where you're going to create the most magnificent things, because it's going to come from a completely different energy. So, what I usually advise people to do is for them to know what they want, have a clearly defined goal of where they want to go, what they want to achieve, and especially have a vision for themselves, a vision of a life that they want to live. And that is going to be the point you come back to whenever something isn't the way you want it to be right now. So if you're faced with a situation in the now moment that isn't the way you want it to be, a lot of people now, they will go and say, okay, like, what's the problem here? How can I fix this? How can I make this better? How can I overcome this struggle that I have right now? Instead of doing that, I want you to just go, okay, this, what I'm seeing right now, is a manifestation of my past thoughts, right? Because I've created this through the thinking, the feeling, and the actions that I had in the past. That's why I'm seeing this result right now. So, right now, in this moment, the only thing I can do is change my thinking in order to create a different future. So now, if you start to go into, okay, what are all the problems with this? Or like, how can I fix this? You're still kind of like energetically swirling around in the thing you don't want. So you're literally about to create more of the things you don't want. So instead, you just go, okay, how would I love the situation to be instead? How do I want the new result to be? My ideal result. So you literally create a vision of the new idea, the new result, the new goal that you have, the new version of this situation playing out, and you're giving that focus. And through that, you're sending your focus, which is one of the most powerful things you have. You're sending your focus towards what you want. So the universe is going to go, oh, okay, you want more of that. You want more of the things that are feeling joyful and fulfilled and successful and happy. Great, I'm going to give you more of that. So it sounds really simple. It is really simple. It's our conditioning that's been so conditioned to look for the problems that is sometimes holding us back from that. But what helps also in the beginning a lot is write it down. Okay, so what you can do is if you find a situation you were like, like I'm freaking out. This is not what I want. This is horrible. Like I need to fix this. You just gotta, okay, slow down. I'm gonna sit down and I'm just gonna write out what I would love to have instead. So through writing, writing is such a powerful tool because if we write, we're literally focusing our attention on the one thing that we're writing right now. And it's very hard to actually write and think at the same time. Whereas if you're thinking, you're so easily distracted. Like you could go thinking of like, okay, what do I want instead? Start thinking about it, but then within 2 seconds, you're already thinking about dinner. You're thinking about your mom that called. You're thinking about your coworker or your team member or like whatever you're thinking about. So it's easily to get distracted. But when you write things down, you're having like a focused energy on what you're writing there. So I would just take a piece of paper and I would just write out, okay, I am so happy and grateful now that, and then write out what you want as if it's already happening right now in the present tense. Um, and then that's what you're going to focus your attention on. So you basically, instead of fixing the old, you're now looking at what do I want to create in the future? Like, what do I want to create and how can I get there? So, also the ideas that you're going to get in order to fix this, but like you're not fixing it, right? You're creating the new. We're going away from the fixing. The ideas you're going to get in order to create the new based on what you've just observed are going to be completely different because they're going to come from a completely new level of awareness and a new level of consciousness that you're asking the question from. So yes, I hope that made a lot of sense. This is going to be a super short, quick first episode. I'm happy to talk more about this at some point, but I just want to get this out for now. And let me know how you're going with this, if these tips were successful and helpful for you. Let me know how you're going with the writing it out things. It's like so powerful. I believe sometimes the simplest things are the most impactful, and they're sometimes so simple and easy that we think they can't be working for us. But trust me, try it out and see what happens because it is very powerful. Okay, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. Thanks so much for listening until now, and I can't wait to share more with you soon.